In 2026, not all states are created equal. Some are struggling with shrinking populations, budget deficits, and slowing job markets. But others? They're printing economic power. They're driving business growth, attracting high-income earners, expanding industries, and generating massive GDP numbers that fuel the entire country. Today, we're breaking down the 10 richest states that are making America's money right now. And this isn't just about flashy skylines or expensive real estate. We're looking at the states dominating in GDP, corporate headquarters, industry growth, job creation, investment inflows, and wealth concentration. These are the states powering Wall Street, leading tech innovation, controlling energy production, dominating finance, and shaping the national economy. If you want to understand where opportunity is flowing, where businesses are relocating, where millionaires are moving, and where economic momentum is strongest in 2026, this list matters because money moves before headlines catch up. The states on this list aren't just rich on paper, they influence national policy, supply chains, housing markets, and investment trends. When these states grow, America grows. When they slow down, the country feels it. And here's the bigger question: are you living in one of them? Investing in one, or missing out entirely? Before we dive in, hit the like button so more people see this breakdown of where America's wealth is actually being created. Subscribe and turn on notifications for weekly deep dives into the economy, housing markets, migration trends, and the states winning and losing in this new financial era. Drop a comment right now and guess which state you think ranks number 1. Is it the obvious choice, or is there a surprise powerhouse climbing the ladder? Let's get into the 10 richest states making America's money in 2026 and see where the real power is concentrated. States number 1, California. California remains the single largest economic engine in the United States in 2026, and by sheer scale, it stands at the top of the list when it comes to producing America's money. If California were its own country, its economy would rank among the largest in the world. That's not hype, it's economic weight. With a gross state product measured in the trillions, California alone accounts for a massive portion of national GDP. The state's financial power is diversified across multiple dominant industries. Silicon Valley continues to anchor global technology innovation, home to some of the largest tech corporations on the planet. From artificial intelligence and software to semiconductor development and venture capital funding, California remains the epicenter of tech-driven wealth creation. Billions of dollars in startup investment flow through the Bay Area every year, creating new companies and new millionaires at a pace few regions can match. But California's strength isn't limited to tech. Hollywood and the broader entertainment industry still generate global revenue streams through film, streaming, gaming, and media production. Agriculture in the Central Valley supplies a significant percentage of the nation's produce, making California one of the most agriculturally productive states in America. Add in international trade flowing through the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, two of the busiest ports in the Western Hemisphere, and you have a state deeply integrated into global commerce. Wall Street may dominate finance headlines, but California controls venture capital. Investors deploy capital into high-growth companies that often reshape entire industries. When new technology booms happen, California is usually at the center of them. However, California's economic dominance also comes with high costs. Taxes, housing prices, and regulatory burdens are among the highest in the country. This has triggered outmigration of some residents and businesses. Yet despite that migration narrative, the state's core industries remain so large and globally connected that its overall economic output continues to outpace every other state. In 2026, California isn't just wealthy, it's structurally powerful. It influences national policy, global tech trends, supply chains, and capital markets. Even with population shifts, its economic gravity remains unmatched. Simply put, when California moves, the national economy feels it. States. Number 2, Texas. If California represents scale, Texas represents momentum. In 2026, Texas stands as one of the fastest-growing economic powerhouses in the United States, and in many ways, it's rewriting the playbook on how states attract and generate wealth. With a gross state product in the trillions and rapidly expanding industries, Texas has become a magnet for corporations, entrepreneurs, and high-income earners. Energy remains one of Texas's foundational strengths. As the nation's leading producer of oil and natural gas, Texas plays a central role in domestic energy supply. But the story doesn't stop there. The state has also become a leader in renewable energy, particularly wind power, positioning itself as both a traditional and forward-looking energy hub. Energy alone generates billions in revenue and supports a vast network of related industries. Beyond energy, Texas has aggressively attracted corporate headquarters. Major companies have relocated from higher tax states to cities like Austin, Dallas, and Houston. The absence of a state income tax serves as a powerful incentive for both businesses and individuals. This tax structure, combined with relatively lower housing costs compared to coastal states, has fueled massive population growth. Austin has evolved into a tech center in its own right, drawing startups and established firms alike. Dallas has strengthened its position in finance and corporate services. Houston remains a global energy and logistics hub. Together, these metropolitan areas form a diversified economic network that supports sustained expansion. Texas also benefits from geographic advantages. Its ports facilitate international trade, particularly with Mexico and Latin America. Manufacturing and distribution have expanded due to the state's central location and infrastructure investments. As supply chains shift and domestic production gains renewed focus, Texas stands well positioned to capture that activity. Unlike some states that rely heavily on one dominant sector, Texas has built a broad base: energy, technology, healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, and finance. This diversification reduces vulnerability to downturns in any single industry. In 2026, Texas isn't just rich, it's competitive. It actively recruits capital, talent, and industry. Its population growth feeds housing demand, retail expansion, and workforce development. The state's pro-business reputation continues to attract investment from both domestic and international sources. While California may still lead in overall size, Texas represents growth velocity. It's not just generating wealth, it's reshaping where America's money is flowing. States number 3, New York. New York remains one of the most financially powerful states in America in 2026, largely because it controls the nerve center of global finance. When people think of money, markets, and capital flows, they think of Wall Street, and Wall Street sits in New York. The financial services industry alone generates hundreds of billions in economic output annually, influencing everything from corporate lending and stock trading to global investment banking and asset management. New York City serves as headquarters for some of the largest financial institutions in the world. Major banks, hedge funds, private equity firms, and insurance companies operate at a scale that shapes national and international markets. When interest rates change or markets shift, New York often feels the impact first and drives the response. But finance isn't the state's only strength. Media, publishing, advertising, fashion, and entertainment all contribute heavily to New York's economy. The state also has a strong healthcare and education sector, anchored by world-renowned universities and hospital systems. Technology has expanded in recent years as well, particularly in Manhattan and Brooklyn, where fintech and startup ecosystems have grown steadily. New York's economic power also comes from density. High-income earners are concentrated in a relatively small geographic area, generating enormous tax revenue and consumer spending. Even though the state faces challenges like high taxes and population outmigration, its economic infrastructure remains deeply entrenched. Another major factor is global connectivity. New York acts as an international gateway, facilitating foreign investment and trade. International corporations frequently establish U.S. headquarters in New York to access financial markets and global networks. This global integration reinforces the state's role as a financial command center. In 2026, New York may not lead in population growth, but it continues to dominate in capital influence. It is the decision-making hub where deals are structured, companies go public, and investment capital is deployed across the nation. Even states experiencing faster growth often rely on financial backing that originates in New York. Simply put, New York doesn't just make money, it moves money, and that influence keeps it firmly among the richest states, shaping America's economic landscape. States number 4, Florida. Florida has transformed from a retirement destination into one of the most economically dynamic states in America. In 2026, it stands as a major wealth generator driven by population growth, business relocation, tourism, and finance expansion. The state's gross domestic product continues to climb as companies and high-net-worth individuals move in at record levels. One of Florida's biggest advantages is its tax structure. With no state income tax, Florida attracts entrepreneurs, executives, and retirees looking to preserve more of their earnings. Over the past several years, this tax advantage has fueled significant migration from higher tax states. As people move, capital follows, and that capital circulates through real estate, retail, hospitality, and investment markets. Tourism remains a powerful economic pillar. Florida consistently ranks among the most visited states in the country. Theme parks, beaches, cruise ports, and entertainment centers generate billions annually. Cities like Orlando and Miami serve as international travel hubs, bringing foreign spending into the state's economy. Finance has also expanded rapidly, particularly in Miami, which has positioned itself as a growing financial and investment center. Hedge funds, private equity firms, and fintech startups have established offices there, contributing to rising incomes and new job creation. Real estate development plays another major role. Florida's housing market has experienced sustained demand due to migration trends. Residential construction, commercial development, and infrastructure expansion have created ripple effects across multiple industries. Healthcare, logistics, and international trade further strengthen the economy. Florida's ports connect the U.S. to Latin America and the Caribbean, supporting import and export activity. Meanwhile, an aging population increases demand for healthcare services, generating steady economic output. In 2026, Florida's wealth is driven by movement of people, capital, and business operations. Its rapid growth, tax advantages, and diversified economy make it one of the most financially influential states in the country. While other states may dominate specific sectors, Florida excels at attracting money and keeping it circulating within its borders. States number 5. Illinois. Illinois remains one of America's richest states in 2026, largely because of one city, Chicago. As the third largest metropolitan economy in the United States, Chicago serves as a financial, transportation, manufacturing, and commodities trading powerhouse. While Illinois often faces headlines about fiscal challenges and population shifts, the sheer size and diversity of its economy keep it firmly among the top wealth-producing states. Chicago is home to major financial exchanges, including commodities and futures markets that influence global pricing for agriculture, energy, and financial instruments. The trading activity centered in Illinois plays a crucial role in national and international commerce. When food prices, energy contracts, or financial derivatives move, Chicago is often at the center of those transactions. Beyond finance, Illinois benefits from its geographic position. It sits at the crossroads of America's rail, highway, and air transportation networks. O'Hare International Airport remains one of the busiest airports in the world, supporting logistics, trade, and business travel. The state's central location makes it a distribution hub for goods moving across the country. Manufacturing is another key contributor. Illinois produces machinery, chemicals, food products, and fabricated metals at scale. Agriculture in downstate regions also contributes significantly, with corn and soybean production feeding both domestic and global markets. Healthcare and higher education add further economic depth. Major hospital systems, research universities, and corporate headquarters generate high-income employment and drive innovation. Despite policy and tax debates, the state's economic infrastructure remains deeply embedded and difficult to replicate elsewhere. Illinois may not be the fastest-growing state, but its economic foundation is broad and entrenched. In 2026, it continues to generate enormous output, proving that established financial and transportation hubs still hold massive wealth-generating power. States number 6. Washington. Washington state has become one of the most economically influential states in America, driven by technology, global trade, and advanced manufacturing. Anchored by the Seattle metropolitan area, Washington has built a powerful economic identity centered around innovation and export-driven industries. Technology is the cornerstone of Washington's wealth. The Seattle region hosts some of the largest and most influential tech companies in the world, generating billions in revenue and employing tens of thousands of high-income workers. Cloud computing, software development, e-commerce, and artificial intelligence all contribute significantly to the state's GDP. In addition to tech, aerospace manufacturing plays a critical role. Washington remains a major hub for aircraft production and engineering, contributing heavily to exports and high-skilled employment. This advanced manufacturing base supports suppliers, logistics providers, and research institutions across the state. Trade is another major strength. The Port of Seattle and Port of Tacoma serve as key gateways for commerce with Asia. International trade flows support shipping, warehousing, and distribution industries, reinforcing Washington's position in global supply chains. Washington also benefits from a relatively diversified economy. Healthcare, clean energy, biotechnology, and maritime industries add additional layers of stability. The absence of a state income tax enhances its appeal to high earners, helping attract skilled professionals and entrepreneurs. Population growth and rising incomes have supported a strong housing market and consumer spending levels. While cost of living has increased, the state's economic output continues to expand due to sustained demand in technology and global trade. In 2026, Washington represents modern economic strength, innovation-driven, globally connected, and export-focused. Its influence stretches far beyond the Pacific Northwest, making it one of the key states generating wealth for the entire country. States number 7. Massachusetts. Massachusetts continues to rank among the richest states in America in 2026, powered by one of the most advanced knowledge-based economies in the country. Anchored by the greater Boston area, the state thrives on education, biotechnology, healthcare, finance, and technology innovation. While it may not have the population size of California or Texas, its economic output per capita is among the highest in the nation. Education is one of Massachusetts's greatest strengths. Home to world-renowned universities and research institutions, the state consistently produces highly skilled graduates who feed directly into high-income industries. These institutions also attract billions in research funding each year, fueling innovation in biotech, pharmaceuticals, robotics, and artificial intelligence. The biotechnology and life sciences sector is especially powerful. Massachusetts has become a global hub for biotech startups and pharmaceutical giants. Billions of dollars in venture capital and federal research grants flow into labs and research centers annually. Breakthroughs developed in Boston often shape global healthcare markets. Finance also contributes significantly. Boston hosts major asset management firms, venture capital groups, and financial services companies. These firms manage trillions in assets, influencing national and international investment decisions. Healthcare systems in the state are both employers and revenue generators, drawing patients from across the country and around the world. Combined with strong technology and innovation sectors, this creates a highly diversified and resilient economy. Despite high living costs and taxes, Massachusetts maintains strong income levels and consistent economic growth. Its concentration of high-paying industries ensures that wealth generation remains steady. In 2026, Massachusetts exemplifies how intellectual capital and research-driven industries translate directly into financial power. States number 8. Georgia. Georgia has emerged as one of the fastest rising economic powerhouses in the United States. In 2026, it stands firmly among the richest states due to its diverse economy, strategic location, and rapid corporate expansion. Atlanta, the state's economic engine, has become a national hub for finance, logistics, media, and technology. One of Georgia's biggest advantages is transportation infrastructure. Atlanta's airport remains one of the busiest in the world, connecting businesses and travelers globally. The Port of Savannah has also expanded significantly, becoming one of the fastest-growing ports in the nation. This logistics strength positions Georgia as a gateway for domestic and international trade. Corporate headquarters and relocations have accelerated in recent years. Major companies across sectors such as fintech, healthcare, logistics, and manufacturing have expanded operations in the state. Competitive tax policies and business-friendly regulations have helped attract these investments. Atlanta's financial sector continues to grow, particularly in payment processing and fintech innovation. City processes a significant share of the nation's financial transactions, earning it recognition as a payments capital. Film and television production have also surged, generating billions in economic impact annually. Manufacturing and automotive production further diversify Georgia's economy. Electric vehicle production and battery manufacturing investments have strengthened the state's industrial base, creating thousands of jobs and boosting long-term growth potential. Population growth fuels housing demand, retail expansion, and consumer spending. As more residents relocate from higher-cost states, Georgia benefits from incoming capital and workforce talent. In 2026, Georgia represents strategic growth, diversified, infrastructure-driven, and business-focused. Its balanced economic mix allows it to generate substantial wealth while maintaining strong expansion momentum, placing it firmly among the states making America's money. States number 9. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania remains one of America's most economically significant states in 2026 due to its scale, industrial depth, and strategic location in the Northeast Corridor. While it doesn't always dominate headlines like California or Texas, Pennsylvania quietly generates enormous economic output across multiple sectors, making it one of the country's foundational wealth producers. The state benefits from having two major metropolitan engines, Philadelphia in the east and Pittsburgh in the west. Philadelphia plays a major role in healthcare, education, financial services, and pharmaceuticals. It is home to major hospital systems, research universities, biotech firms, and corporate headquarters. The healthcare and life sciences sectors alone generate billions annually and employ a large high-income workforce. Pittsburgh, once known primarily for steel production, has reinvented itself as a center for robotics, artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and energy innovation. Technology startups and research institutions have helped diversify the region's economy, blending legacy industry with modern innovation. Energy production is another critical driver. Pennsylvania ranks among the top natural gas producers in the country due to the Marcellus Shale formation. Natural gas extraction and related infrastructure generate significant revenue and contribute to domestic energy supply, reinforcing the state's national importance. Manufacturing remains a core pillar, producing machinery, chemicals, food products, and fabricated materials. Pennsylvania's central location along major interstate corridors supports logistics and distribution, connecting Northeast markets with the Midwest and Southeast. Agriculture also contributes meaningfully, particularly in dairy and crop production. While smaller in scale compared to industrial output, it adds diversification and regional economic stability. In 2026, Pennsylvania's strength lies in its balance. It is not dependent on a single industry. Instead, it combines healthcare, energy, manufacturing, logistics, and technology into a broad economic base. That diversity helps maintain steady GDP performance even when certain sectors face downturns. Pennsylvania may not grow at the fastest pace, but its economic mass and stability keep it firmly among the richest states, driving America's financial engine. States number 10, North Carolina. North Carolina has evolved into one of the most dynamic wealth-generating states in the country. In 2026, it stands out for its rapid growth in finance, technology, manufacturing, and population expansion. Anchored by cities like Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina has built a modern economy that blends banking power with innovation and industrial growth. Charlotte serves as one of the largest banking centers in the United States. Major financial institutions operate significant headquarters and regional hubs there, managing trillions in assets and processing enormous transaction volumes. The finance sector alone generates substantial income and employment, placing North Carolina high on the national economic map. The Research Triangle region, anchored by Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, has become a leading innovation corridor. Technology firms, biotech companies, and research institutions collaborate in an ecosystem that attracts venture capital and federal research funding. This has created high-paying jobs and consistent startup activity. Manufacturing is also expanding, particularly in advanced manufacturing and automotive sectors. Electric vehicle production and battery plants have drawn major investment commitments, strengthening long-term economic output. Aerospace, pharmaceuticals, and life sciences add further diversification. Population growth plays a major role in North Carolina's wealth expansion. The state continues to attract residents from higher-cost areas due to its relatively moderate cost of living and expanding job opportunities. As people move in, housing demand rises, retail expands, and tax revenues grow. Infrastructure investments, including ports and transportation networks, enhance trade and distribution capacity. The Port of Wilmington supports export activity, while highway and rail systems connect businesses across the Southeast. In 2026, North Carolina represents balanced acceleration, strong banking, innovation-driven research, expanding manufacturing, and sustained migration. Its ability to combine traditional industries with emerging sectors has made it one of the most financially influential and fastest-growing states in America. And that's the bigger picture most people miss in 2026. America's economy isn't evenly spread. It's concentrated. Certain states dominate capital flows, corporate headquarters, innovation, energy production, banking, manufacturing, and trade. These 10 states aren't just rich. They're structurally powerful. They influence national GDP, job markets, housing demand, migration patterns, and even federal policy. When these states expand, the entire country feels momentum. When they slow down, the impact ripples nationwide. But here's the real question. Where do you fit into this map? Are you living in one of the states generating the most wealth, investing in one, building a business in one? Or are you in a region losing economic gravity while others accelerate ahead? Because money leaves clues. It leaves clues in job growth, in housing demand, in corporate relocations, in infrastructure expansion, in population shifts. If you follow those signals early, you position yourself ahead of the curve instead of reacting after prices rise and opportunities tighten. The smartest investors, entrepreneurs, and homeowners don't just ask, "What's affordable today?" They ask, "Where is money flowing next?" That's how you stay ahead. If this breakdown helped you understand where America's economic power is really concentrated, hit the like button so more people see it. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we break down the states winning, the states struggling, and the economic shifts shaping 2026 and beyond. Drop a comment below. Which state surprised you the most? And which one do you think will dominate the next decade? Share this video with someone thinking about moving, investing, or starting a business. Because understanding where wealth is being created isn't just interesting, it's strategic. The map of American money is changing. The smart move is learning it before everyone else does. We'll see you in the next one.